Welcome to the Geek In Review for May 26, 2017. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
Today we have some sad news.
A couple of sad stories.
In the news today. Some good news. But first off, we lost our first James Bond.
Yeah, my James Bond.
Yeah, my James Bond, the one I grew up with. Roger Moore passed away this week. He was 89.
Yeah.
Had a short bout with cancer.
It's a long life. I mean, it can't be. It was a lot like it was a tragic young death or anything like that. He had a pretty good life. So
right, and he's still the one I think of when I think of James Bond.
Yeah,
because obviously he was the one when I was a kid. First James Bond movies I watched were Roger Moore James Bond movies. So
yeah, everybody was compared to him for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
I didn't watch Sean Connery James Bond until later.
Right
afterwards.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah, he'll be missed. Roger Moore, he's one of the first James Bond of all of them. So to go. All right. In other tragic news, Zack Snyder has stepped down from directing Justice League and handed the reins over to Joss Whedon. And in order for that, I mean, obviously, if that was going to happen, it was going to make serious news, speculation about if the movie's in trouble or whatnot. So he actually ended up having to come out and announce and explain why. And then his daughter committed suicide in March. He thought he was going to be able to soldier on with the project, but he decided
use it to distract himself.
Yeah, exactly. And he decided he needs to take time off with his family, and thoughts and prayers go out to the Snyder family.
Very definitely. Yeah, it was really sad news.
It is sad news. We can speculate all we want about Joss Whedon, but he's not. This is not going to be. There's a few new scenes they're adding this summer that he wrote, and he's going to be directing, and he's going to oversee post-production, final post-production.
Right.
But this is still Zack Snyder's movie.
Yeah, and everybody there has been, very adamant about that fact that it's Snyder's movie. It's going to follow his vision, and that Whedon's doing this. But it sounds like as a personal favor.
Yeah.
To finish off stuff for him. He was coming in to write. Originally, that was all he was going to do, and then it was kind of like, oh, hey, I need time.
Right. So, but Joss Whedon, we can go on to say he directed, Avengers and Justice League.
That's true. So, yeah, that'll be a unique position to be in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a tragic situation. So, but
all right, Ian, let's pick
slightly
this up a
less tragic news.
Slightly. Sony has announced and is using the name the Sony Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
That they're going to have their own Marvel Universe based on the Spider-Man property, but without Spider-Man. They're not going to make a play to get Spider-Man back until I guess they've got a 6-movie deal with Disney. So they're going to leave him there for the 6 pictures, and they're going to go on with a Sony Marvel Universe.
So is this Marvel Universe going to get its own number, like the 616?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
The movie universe has its own number.
Yeah, we'll call it the 666.
666. The Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man.
Yes. Now there was one cool thing that came out of it that they've tapped, and I don't know if this is official, but Tom Hardy is tapped to play Venom.
Yeah, it's official.
Which Tom Hardy's good. So if anybody can pull that off. I think
Bane is playing Venom. He bulked up for Bane.
Yeah, my only problem with it, because he's going to play Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
My only problem with it is there's no backstory for Eddie Brock and why he
rivalry with
Venom.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Now, and they've also, we've talked before, they're going to have a Black Cat Silver Sable movie. Again, not sure how that's going to work out, especially since those two don't even go together. One's a Catwoman knockoff, and one's
a mercenary.
Kind of a. Well, I guess I'm not sure if she's Mossad or she's got her own security company or something like that. And then we're gonna get a Sinister Six movie, which
this makes the least amount of sense out of all of them without a Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is.
We're gonna team up because we hate
nobody.
We just
and nobody really wants to watch a bad guy movie. That's. I mean, you had the.
I guess Gotham
the
got
Suicide
3 seasons.
Squad. What's that?
I said Gotham got 3 seasons.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because there's a difference between Batman's.
As far as the caliber of bad guys go, Batman is at the top of the list for bad guys.
And I mean, if it were a Suicide Squad type thing, that's one thing, because then you're like, okay, these might be bad guys, but they're doing a good thing. I'm not sure anybody wants to watch a movie about bad guys being bad guys. So I'm not sure where they're going with
I just want to see Mysterio with the big goofy dome. Dome head.
Yeah. So,
right.
anyways, that's
Sony Marvel Universe, not
We'll
to be
see how it
confused
goes.
with the actual Marvel Universe.
right. Yeah.
Or the Marvel Extended Universe. Or, any of the other multiverse.
Now in a better universe,
Yes.
Universal side is the Universal Dark Universe,
Dark Universe.
which is all of their monster properties
Yes.
combined together, which sounds amazing that they're going to put everything that's a monster movie, classic monster movies from Universal.
Yes.
It's all together. And we got 2 new announcements that we're going to have Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man.
Yes.
And we're going to have Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's
monster, the best.
So,
The best of the Universal monsters.
yeah. So this could be really, really cool.
No word yet of whether they're going to have Blackula or not, but I mean, I'm holding out hope.
Yeah.
So
And technically speaking, I believe King Kong and Godzilla are in this universe as well.
they're all Universal properties.
Yeah. So now whether or not they're all going to exist together or whether they're going to be separated in time, that's unclear at this point. But this still sounds really cool to me.
Oh, I love the Universal monsters growing up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So this will be
excited.
good.
They didn't announce their first one though, right? Their first one's out.
Oh yeah, we're going to get a Bride of Frankenstein.
The first one after the Mummy. Which
Right, The Mummy is kind of the intro, which has, not only sets up Tom Cruise's undead character, whatever he's going to be, it also gives us what appears to be
Dr.
Jekyll, probably
Russell
slash
Crowe.
Mr. Hyde,
Yeah.
and Russell Crowe.
Yep.
And if all of these are signed on for multi-movie deals, that's going to be,
Right.
that could be awesome.
Then Bride of Frankenstein's their next one, February 14th. Was that Valentine's Day?
2019,
Yes.
yeah. So we got a little ways to wait for that, but hopefully
I'm excited. See the trailer with all the, black and white monster movie
I did not see
monsters?
that yet,
It's
no.
like a super cut of all those.
That'll be
was,
cool.
was great. All right. And other movie news here. For those of you excited or disappointed that Carl Urban was not going to reprise his role as Judge Dredd in a sequel to the the Dredd movie, there might be some hope. We announced before that they're doing a Judge Dredd TV series called
Right.
Mega City 1, which is going to be like a feature cop ensemble movie.
Right.
But one of the producers, Brian Jenkins, said that he's been in talks with Carl Urban about reprising his role as Dredd. And we
be
speculated
awesome.
before that Dredd in this is probably going to be more of a background,
Right.
character, and then you
Yeah.
focus on some of the other judges. I mean, as long as he's in there at some point, right? I mean, this is
Yeah.
his world.
Hopefully, maybe a little more frequent than Samuel L. Jackson did Nick Fury in the Shield
Yeah,
television show.
hopefully,
Maybe
yeah.
if he shows up, a couple of times a season,
Right.
that would be awesome.
But he said there might be scheduling conflicts. Right now, it's up in the air, but they said if he's available, they want to use him. So, I mean, it looks like
That's awesome.
we could get Carl Urban back.
And he
in the-
loved playing Dredd.
He
from what
did.
I said.
He
Yeah.
did,
so
so-
I'm sure
Yeah.
if he can make it happen, it'll happen.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
All right, we got some casting news for Deadpool 2. We got Jack Kesey, I think that's how you say his name,
Cassie.
from The Strain, is going to play the villain. We don't know for sure who the villain is, but there's
We
rumor
know.
that it might be Black Tom Cassidy.
Battery just died from video camera.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. You're going to notice a difference in the video. We had to switch cameras. Had a little power issue. But let's go on then to casting news for Deadpool.
Sure.
We got the main villain cast. It's going to be Jack Kesey from The Strain. Rumor has it that he is going to play Black Tom Cassidy, who has a relation to Deadpool from a comic miniseries, Deadpool miniseries, where he had some sort of disease where wood was growing. He was turning into a wood creature, and he had to graft Deadpool's hand on so he get his healing powers to heal him from being a tree creature. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that, being Deadpool, that it was funnier than that, that there was something amusing about that. It sounds like a pretty dumb story, but
And no Juggernaut.
no
See,
Juggernaut.
Black Tom Cassidy with no Juggernaut is kind of upsetting. But,
Yeah, it'll be weird.
All right.
But
That's cool. I mean, I trust Deadpool was great. I'll watch
Yeah.
Deadpool 2, no matter what they put in it. So, All right, some more movie news. Talking about New Mutants. This movie keeps getting weirder and weirder the more news we hear about it.
Yeah.
We got a couple casting announcements. Well, not announcements, but Rosario Dawson, who plays Claire in all the Marvel Netflix series, the Night Nurse. She's in talks to play a character, like of a mentor character, Cecilia Reyes. I'm not familiar with her in comics, but apparently she's a doctor who can generate protective biofields.
Okay.
And Professor X tapped her to be a mentor to the students or whatever.
All right.
So she finally, Rosario Dawson's probably going to finally get powers.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. I'll watch her in anything.
Yeah.
And also before that, Henry Zaga from Teen Wolf is in talks right now to play Sunspot, fan favorite Sunspot.
Okay, yeah.
So excited about that. Last scene in Days of Futures Past movie,
Yeah.
fighting Sentinels in the future. But the weird part about this movie is that it's not going to be your typical X-Men movie. They're not going to have uniforms for one. The director says, and it's going to be a horror movie, more of a horror movie.
That's weird.
So, and there's not going to be a bad guy. There's not going to be like a superpowered bad guy that they're fighting. It's going to be like a teen. They're going to be like coming to grips with their powers, and
Makes you wonder if Wolfsbane has something to do with it being the horror.
maybe I don't know, but sounds weird enough that I'm going to watch it. So we'll see what's going on with that. And Rosario Dawson's in it, so
Yeah, there you go.
definitely
Yeah,
watch
she's good.
that. Yep.
And we've got in Disneyland, or actually more appropriately, California Adventures on Saturday the 27th.
Marvel
The Guardians of the Galaxy Escape from, I think it was called Escape from the Collector's Fortress or something like that.
Formerly Tower of Terror.
Formerly the Hollywood Horror Tower of Terror.
Tower of
yeah.
Terror. Yeah.
It opens on, and you get to, as part of the queue, walk through the collector's fortress, and in it, it's got some props that may point to new characters in the new Avengers movies.
Pretty exciting characters.
Yeah, one is Beta Ray Bill's hammer. It's not called that. I don't think it.
Asgardian Warhammer.
Yeah, but
it's
looks
straight up. It's Beta Ray Bill's hammer.
And then there's also some Atlantean artifacts.
Right. And
Which we know that they just got.
they just got the rights back to Namor.
Right.
So. Wow.
I'm more hopeful that Beta Ray Bill. I've never really liked either of the characters all that much, but I'd rather see Beta Ray Bill
Yes.
in an Avengers movie, mostly because that would point to them moving towards space
Yes.
stuff in
When
Phase
that's the
4.
direction they want to go in Phase 4. So.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Bring in an alien who's also got a Asgardian hammer. That would be interesting.
Yes. Stormbreaker.
Then, all right, let's once again, comic news is going to be spoilery. So if you're not wanting to know anything about Secret Empire number 2,
can you guess what story we're going to talk about? It's one of two.
It's one of two, and this time we're only going to be doing Secret Empire number 2. And I did some digging on this. I want to know what people were thinking, and by and large, the critics have been pretty kind to this story. They actually think the story overall is good. Now, everybody is pretty skeptical about the Captain America portion of the story. Nobody wants to see him as a bad guy, and they're skeptical about all of the claims that this has real consequences, but that at some point we're going to get, that this is the real Captain America, but all of the future stuff points to there being a regular Steve Rogers back. Well, Secret Empires number 2 throws a monkey wrench into that, because the last page gives us a Steve Rogers who saves a woman from the Serpent Society, and he comes in World War II fatigues, big bushy beard. Well, not a big bushy beard, but beard, and just says, "Hey, I'm Steve Rogers, and I'm trying to find my way home."
Right. And there's no, they even change art for that section. Doesn't say what time it is. It's a flashback, forward, current. Although Serpent Society would suggest current.
Well, and they apparently react to his face, so they see who it is and run off. So they think it's Captain Hydra, basically. They think it's that Steve Rogers, and they run away.
But he's dressed in World War II fatigues.
And has a beard. So who knows where we're going that way.
So it's not to confuse the hell out of everybody.
Yeah. They're ratcheting up the intrigue.
Yeah.
They're giving you a possible out that doesn't involve the Cosmic Cube, which I don't care if it involved the Cosmic Cube as long as you fix Cap by the end of it. The other parts of the story, like the Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye, kind of trying to coexist with different ideas about how they should resist. Those story elements seem really cool.
Black
They sound
Widow's
interesting.
off to assassinate him, and then there's other group looking for the shards of the Cosmic Cube. To fix him.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but the Defenders, the TV version of the Defenders, is the current Marvel Defenders, comic book universe Defenders as well, and they're working with Doctor Strange to do something. So it sounds intriguing. So I'm more interested in reading this now.
Yeah.
That I'm reading a little deeper into it, but I'm still. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. All right, and moving on to gaming news, with 8th edition coming out, pretty much all the news is Warhammer 40K. For those of you unfamiliar, it's a miniature tabletop board game. Actually, it's the miniature tabletop board game. Yeah. The big one. 8th edition is the latest rule set is coming out. They announced pre-orders for it June 3rd, and the game is going to hit shelves the 17th. And the exciting part about it, at least for me anyway, is the new starter set, Dark Imperium, is going to have Ultramarines versus Death Guard for the first time. We're going to get plastic Death Guard, and they look amazing.
Yeah.
For those of you in the know, this is a super exciting set. It's, we're going to retail for $160, but it has the $60 hardback book in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's 54 miniatures in it, including a plague drone, which previously was just Forge World.
Yeah, like a resin model.
Yeah, and
an expensive resin model.
Yeah, it was expensive resin. So, I mean, it's worth it. I'm probably going to be picking one up. I haven't played in a while, but plastic plague marines, I can't pass that up.
I'll take the Ultramarines out of that and get me a Marnius, or not Marnius Calgar, the Ghillie-Man.
Yeah. All right. Also, in other 40K news, Devil Pig Games, creators of Heroes of Normandy board game, is doing a 40K board game called Heroes of Blackreach, and this is going to be using the Heroes of Normandy system.
Okay.
So it's a really popular board game. It's pretty fun. So it's going to be, Heroes of Normandy doesn't have miniatures, but it's so the board game based on the 40K universe called Heroes of Blackreach. I don't know a whole lot about it yet. I mean, other than it uses the rules for Heroes of Normandy, and so I'm excited. That comes out June 19th, so right after.
Oh wow, just a couple days.
A couple days after.
Okay.
8th edition hits the shelves, you can buy a board game of it. So
nice.
All the game tables at your local hobby store are used up for people playing the game.
Yeah.
You can grab a copy of the board game and play it home.
There you go.
So,
all right.
Well, that's it for the news today. Sorry about the camera problems. Next time we'll bring more batteries or chargers for the batteries.
Yeah.
To the studio. But appreciate you watching. Oh, just a side note here.
Oh yeah, personal triumph here.
Personal triumph. Good news and bad news. Bad news is it doesn't look like now this nerd is going to be buying out the Grizzled Geek anytime soon. Apparently they're not a fan of ours from our last show. They did not like our.
They gave us a dislike.
They did not like our review. However, that means they watched it. So
yeah,
we made it, man, big time. Look at that.
Still not our nerd.
Still not our nerd. So sorry, folks. But thanks for watching. Be sure to check in with us next week. Doug has a new Star Wars video up.
It should be going up the day before this comes out, on Thursday, the day we're filming.
Got it. And then on Monday, we'll have a new podcast out discussing the
Marvel Cinematic Universe,
the state of. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be watching Wonder Woman next week and coming to you with a review of that.
Yeah.
So exciting
lots
stuff.
Lots of stuff. Yeah, lots of cool stuff.
Pay attention. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. If you like this, hit
like, give us some comments below.
Love to talk to you guys. So thank you.
Have a good one.